Hey, welcome to or back to Growth Rising. I'm Bird, and on this channel, we just talk about all things dealing with astrology. And so today we're going to be going over Jupiter in Pisces, the last sign. Save the best for last, right? So you can go to AstroSeek, Astro Cafe, and just type in your birth date, time, and place, and it'll give you your Jupiter sign and what house it's in, so you can see exactly where Jupiter is as well as your other planets. And so if you've done that and you see that you have Jupiter in Pisces, or you know somebody who has a Jupiter in Pisces, this is the video for you. So first and foremost, with Pisces, Jupiter traditionally rules over Pisces, but modernly is Neptune. So you'll have to look at those planets to see if they're comfortable or not, or if they're just cool, chilling out. And that will also affect how your Jupiter acts in Pisces, because your chart is a circle. All of it is connected in different ways. So, yeah, the way that that planet is acting will affect your Jupiter. So, if you have Jupiter in Pisces, just know that your Jupiter is at home, whether you do modern or traditional astrology. Jupiter enjoys being in Pisces. Um, I'm sorry, excuse me. If you have this placement, people can see you with a harmonious energy. You might have some kind of, just a very welcoming energy that people enjoy being around. You could be someone who people would classify as optimistic. A Jupiter and Pisces person can have a really big imagination. Pisces already, mine already be on go. And Jupiter here is just like times 10 or whatever. These people could also daydream a lot, probably the majority of the day, really. Just be in their own little world. And this placement, your mind can always be on go. Not necessarily about, I got to do this, I got to do that. It could be more of creating different scenarios in your head, or something happening and you're just thinking like, I wonder if it did like this, or just any kind of fantasy. You could be thinking about something like dragon tales. It really could be anything that's going on in your head, but your mind is always on go, and that could also feel like your safe place. But that also depends on other things in your chart. This person can be very creative, and also with a Pisces Jupiter, be careful of being too passive, not really standing up for yourself. Now, I do understand that some people who have a Pisces Jupiter may not be very passive people. You could very well have a Aries Mars and will say what needs to be said when it needs to be said. But if you by chance have a Cancer Mars, Jupiter and Pisces, having planets not necessarily where they want to be. Well, I won't say where they want to be, but where they're strongest, like your Mars, or I'll say even your Saturn or your Mercury. You may just want to make sure that you're not too passive when it comes to other people, and Pisces is a very laid back sign and very chill, and it's not the sign that has the strongest willpower. So with Jupiter here, is not going to magically have, the best willpower and, be a go-getter and all of that. No, it's not necessarily going to do that. It's just be careful of being too passive. And also go get you a Jupiter and Virgo friend if you have to. These people can pick up on others' energies pretty easily, you know, and they could be around negative energy, like a lot of it. And if a Pisces Jupiter person is around a lot of negative energy, it's going to drain them. They're going to start feeling tired or just like they just need to go home and go take a nap or need to get out of that place because it's too much negative energy for them. It's too draining because they can pick up on the emotions pretty easily. These people would want to help others out in any kind of way they could because Jupiter in Pisces does not like to see people suffer. And so with this placement, if you do see somebody who's going through a tough time or suffering, it would not be outside of your character to try to lend a helping hand or just trying to help them out in whatever way that you can. Which, that is nice because, of course, a Pisces Jupiter wouldn't want to see somebody struggling. But also with that, do remember to set boundaries. Pisces is not the sign that's the strongest in that. I will just go ahead and put that out there. I don't want to lie to anybody. So having Jupiter here, you could want to help people out to the max, but you also have to set boundaries and set limits for yourself because, it's understandable. You don't like to see people suffer, but at the same time, you can't save everyone. Another thing with this sign is that some of these people may trust too easily. You meet somebody after 5 minutes and they're talking good, like, oh, okay, let's do whatever. Or, yeah, of course I'll buy this right here for you. You're a great person. You've known the person for 5 minutes. Don't do that. Don't do that. Um, and also try to not get lost in your imagination. Understand that reality is still there. No matter how often you clock out of it, it's still there and you'll have real consequences in reality, if you don't learn how to get out of fantasy land sometimes, these people could also enjoy spirituality, tarot, and astrology, always wanting to find a deeper meaning in life, you know, wanting to get just deep in general, a Jupiter and Pisces. And these people could possibly be criminals. Not saying all, but they could commit fraud because Pisces do be deceiving. And with Jupiter here, you could be still deceiving others and committing fraud. So, try not to lean so much on that side of it because that's not good. Like I said, everything's connected. It's a circle. So what's going around is going to come back around. But yeah, so if you also have this placement, you could probably go into something like being an actor or actress where deceiving people could work in your favor because you can really get lost in the character that you're portraying. Or you could just become an artist where it's certain parts where you want to challenge somebody else's mind to think in a different way or something like that. So if you have Jupiter and Pisces, I just want to know what you did or did not resonate with, and if you feel like I left anything out. Thank you. Have a good one.